if you are wanting to build an AI agent, I do believe you still do need ChatGPT Premium in order to build your own tool. But once you do have Premium, it becomes really easy to build the tool. So as you can see over here, a lot of these tools are little agents that I built to help me quickly do the work that I do. So you can click Explore GPTs, and then it'll take you to sort of their marketplace. So these are all the GPT agents that other companies have created, that other people have created. So as you can see, Canva is listed on here. I believe this is also a company. So anyone under the sun can come in here and create an AI agent tool. And then ChatGPT themselves are creating agents that you can use in order to do whatever work that you do. So when it comes to building an agent, I'm gonna hide myself. You click up here and then you can see your GPTs, so the agents that you've already built, and then you can create new GPTs. So I'm going to click on my GPTs to start just to show you all the GPTs that I've created, because they take they take about 5 minutes to build once you get in there and build your own AI tool. So as you can see, I've built something to help me practice Spanish. I've built something to generate some job affirmations if you're currently going through the job search. Yesterday on LinkedIn, I posted another AI tool that I created that helps you dissect a job description. So it's very, very easy to come in here and do this. So I'm going to go back to explore the marketplace on ChatGPT, and then I'm going to go and click on create. So once you click create, this is how you start building your ChatGPT agent. So you can, the way that you build it is that you just start telling it exactly what you want. So I can't see the chat, but someone can come off mute and tell me a theme or something that you would like to build an AI agent around, and I can walk through the process of building out that AI tool. So anybody else, anybody have a theme, or they want to tell me what they would like to build an AI agent around? It could be anything.
Like writing a master thesis.
Ooh, writing a master thesis. Okay. So what do we want to call this? We'll just say your job is to help me write the best master thesis for my master's program. And then once you click enter, it'll walk you through the process of building an AI chat tool. So right now it's thinking, and it takes a bit of time to think, but once you have it, you have it. So now it's asking you, what do you want to call your chat GPT agent? And it's asking if a master thesis mentor is a good name. So you have to answer it. So you say, yes, this is a good name. And if you don't like that name, you say, no, this is not a good name. So it's thinking again, and it's co-collaborating and co-building with you to build this AI tool. So now it's generating a profile image for you. So you just wait. You wait for it to generate it, and it generated a book. If you like the image, you can say, yes, I like this image. If you don't like the image, you can tell it to generate another. So I'll test that out. I'll say, I don't like this. Generate another image for this AI tool. And then it's thinking again, and it'll generate a new image for you. So takes about a minute.
Deidre, does this work for every premium subscription or
Yeah.
only for some specific one?
I believe it's the whatever the main one that they offer, because that's the only one that I pay for. So the main one that they offer, the main premium subscription, yes, you can use it. I do believe they have like a developer option. And they treat the developer premium subscriptions different than the average everyday user subscriptions on ChatGPT. So if you have a basic ChatGPT profile, from that profile, you go and you look at their different options and then click on premium. And then once you buy the premium, you'll be able to get access to this. Um, so yes, now that you like the image, you like the name, you have to tailor it to help you achieve whatever goal you have. So if you wanted this to focus on the structure of your thesis, if you wanted it to be a researcher for you to help you quickly research data points for your thesis, you can tell it all of that information. So you can say your main job is to do deep research on the topics that I give you, making sure to cite the sources. You will also be a grammar, you can say be a grammar expert, making sure that the structure of all my work is the best. So once you tell it that, it thinks, it takes it all in. And then that is your GPT agent. It's done. One thing that I like about this is that you don't have to do any coding. You're just telling it what you want. It's like you're telling a story or you have like an assistant that you're directing. And then it saves it and it's there. And it continuously talks to you too. And as you can see, these questions changed. So the more that you tell it what you want it to do, the questions over here will start to change. And these questions are just suggestions of things that you can ask the AI tool when you first open it up to its main page. Um, so it's asking if this covers everything that I need. You don't have to respond, but you can say yes. And once you say yes, it'll tell you to test out your tool. So while you're building this tool, you can always test it out in this corner. So I can say, give me some data points about burnout in the workplace for my thesis. And then it'll do some generating and it's searching the web. This is something I like about ChatGPT now too. It didn't used to be able to search the web, but now it can. So it searched the web for me and it pulled data points from like American Psychological Association. They're talking about generational differences. So it really is acting like my research assistant for a make-believe paper about burnout in the workplace. So I really like it. You can also go over here and look at the configure tab. And when you look at the configure tab, you can change things directly in this configure tab as well. So you can change the name of your tool, the description that shows up when someone uses your tool, the instructions. So everything that I typed in the create window is captured and put in this instructions tab. So if you want to take anything out, edit it, or add anything directly, you can here. And then you can also change the conversation starters, questions that pop up when someone uses your tool. You can also upload files, so PDFs. I haven't tried HTML or anything, but let's see. Yeah, I think it just might, oh, videos. You can upload videos as well, images, PDFs, to make your tool a little bit more tailored to whatever you're trying to accomplish. And then this is where you can check what it will do. So you want it to search the web, you want to give it the ability to generate images, you want to give it the ability to interpret code and do data analysis, you can. So, and then you can create custom actions as well, but I normally don't touch this piece. But if you want to dive a little bit deeper, this is how you can create custom actions as well. So once all of this is done, you just click create, and that is your AI tool. You can start sharing it with people. You can use it yourself. If you only want to use it yourself, you can choose only me and only you have access to the tool. If you want other people to be able to view it, but you don't want to share it with the GPT store, you can click anyone with the link. And then if you want everyone to be able to use it, you click GPT store, and then you can select whatever category. So I would put research and analysis or education, and then you just hit save. So now everyone can access this tool, even if they don't know who you are, even if you don't share the link, because it will be in ChatGPT's GPT Marketplace. Now, this is, you can stop here now if you like the result, if you like the tool, you can share it with people. They don't have to have premium anymore. So everyone can access it. When I was first building my own AI tool, everyone was not able to access my tool unless they had ChatGPT Premium. So I did research and I found this tool called Agenthost. And this allows you to build your own GPT tool. So I'll pull up my original um let's see. I think it was agent host. Yes. So I'll pull up my original tool. So when I built my original career AI tool, I used Agent Host to host it. So I took everything that was in this configure window and Agenthost on the back end, they have something that looks very similar where you drop in your ChatGPT configuration into their tool, and then they create this chat box for you on their data, on their system and database. And this allows you to share it with other people outside of ChatGPT's platform. And then something else that I really enjoyed is that they allows you to add more links out. So I had a link to a job, like a waiting list that I was putting together for job seekers. I had a list of open jobs that I collected for job seekers that they could click out to. I had a link for people to ask me questions that they can link out to. So I really enjoyed that. And then this tool also allows you to monetize your AI tool without spending a ton of money getting a custom AI tool developed. So what I did was I opened it for free. My tool was targeted to high school students, so I had them use it for free just so that I could do some research and see what kind of questions they were asking. That's another thing that I liked about Agent Host is that I could see the back end. I could see the actual questions that people were asking my tool. Whereas if you kept your tool on ChatGPT, you can't see the questions that people are asking. You could just see people using it if they rate your tool. Um, so I enjoy that I was able to see what people were asking my tool and how they were using it by using this third party tool. And then I also could charge a fee for people to use certain features within my tool. And then it just links out to Stripe. And that's a feature that's built into this platform. So you don't have to set anything up for yourself. I'll go and dig into the back end of this tool a little bit so that you could see how it works. So this is an agent that I created, and you do have to have a premium plan. If you have a lot of volume coming to your tool, if there are not a ton of people using your tool, you're okay with a free plan. Um, and then you can still charge even if you have a free plan. So that's something else that I liked. But when you click manage, this is where you can see the number of messages that were sent to your tool, how many chats were created with your tool. And then I believe I contributed to helping them drive for some of the things that they added to this tool. I asked them if I could download the chat history of my tool. And it was a feature that they added to this tool as well. So I believe I was one of the first few people to use this tool when they started allowing people to add their things to the tool. So this is the window that I was talking about earlier where you could copy your ChatGPT configuration and pop it into this tool. Just like ChatGPT, you can create a knowledge base and upload files to help your tool be a little bit smarter. You can also add URLs just like in ChatGPT. So it's very similar to ChatGPT, with the caveat that you can charge people to use it. And you can also add links and customize it a little bit more. Oh, and then they have a feature, and I'm assuming this is for premium users now that they added, where you could prevent hallucinations because ChatGPT gets dinged a lot that it will give false information or it will hallucinate. So if you're using Agenthost, you might be able to prevent hallucination that you might get with ChatGPT. This is where you could go for your plan to set up your plans on your custom AI tool in this app. Real quick, before we continue the episode, I have something special to share with you. This challenge is all about action. So if that is not you, if you have a history of flaking out, I want you to close the window. This is not your challenge. I want to give you a really quick rundown on what the Thrive Now challenge is. This is a 4-day challenge that will help you take bold steps towards your 2025 goals. There are 4 key things that you need to master in order to thrive, and this challenge will cover all those key things. Number 1, setting big goals. Number 2, your mindset. Number 3, monetizing your skills that you already have. And number 4, personal branding. That's it. That is all you need to thrive in 2025. To get started with the challenge, I want you to go to breakroombuddha.com/thrive. There, you'll get the inside scoop on everything you need in order to get started on this challenge. It's not much, so I don't want to hear any excuses. I better see you in the challenge. One thing that I did like about this tool is that you could also capture email addresses. So before someone uses your tool, you can ask them for their email address, and then you're able to reach back out to them, add them to a list, do whatever you need to do to keep and maintain communication with the people who are using your tool. Something else that you cannot do if you keep your tool on ChatGPT. And this is the tab of conversations. So before I went over to pay money to develop my AI tool further, I came in here and I did deep research on what people were actually asking. So people were asking questions about they were asking questions about preparing for interviews. People were asking about whether or not certain programs were offered at certain universities. Someone asked to be trained on how to negotiate salary. Asking people, they asked how to rewrite emails and communication, how to become certain jobs. So like if they had a job in mind, they wanted to know what the requirements were to become that professional. So I was able to do a lot of digging, and this information helped me develop this AI tool, which is my own AI tool that I went out and hired people to help me build. Um, and I'll log in really quickly so that you all can see. I can talk you through my mindset on the different tools that I created based on um, based on the things that I was seeing on the back end of that tool. So the things that I saw on the back end of that tool were people asking for salary negotiation, how to prep for interview, what the career trajectory would look like if they wanted to become a certain profession. So when I reached out to my team to help me develop my AI tool, I had specific tools in mind that I wanted them to create based on the questions that I saw people asking when I was just using Agenthost to host my AI tool as a regular chat bot. So I came to the conclusion that most people needed a career coach. I released that tool early this year when a lot of people were getting laid off. So they were all over the place. They didn't know what job they wanted to do next. They didn't know what they needed to do with their skills. They didn't know how to edit their resume. They didn't know anything. or they were struggling with a lot of the basic job search and career search skills that we need to get another job once we've been laid off. So the number one tool that I wanted to create was an AI coach, career coach tool, which was simply a chat bot in a box that people could ask basic career questions to 24/7. So very similar to what I had over here when I was just using Agenthost. A lot of people like this format, so I wanted to make sure to keep it when I moved it over here. But one thing that people were struggling with was what to do after they've uploaded a resume. And my tool would give them a little bit of information. My Agenthost tool would give them a little bit of information about how to update their resume. But I wanted to take it a step further and I wanted to make it where people didn't have to ask a bunch of questions in order to get helpful information to update their resume. So I created an AI resume analyzer, which would allow people to upload their resume, drop in a job link directly from a job board like LinkedIn or Indeed, and just click a button that said analyze resume. After they did that, they didn't have to do anything else. They didn't have to ask any more questions, ask follow-up questions. They just had a simple review of their resume that they could then take to edit their resume. And I'll show you an example of what kind of information you get after you upload your resume into this tool. So after someone uploads their resume in the tool and then a job description into the tool, my tool will tell you whether or not you are qualified for a job based on the resume that you've provided and the job description that you've provided. It'll give you an overview of why you might be qualified for that job. It'll give you a skills gap analysis and tell you what you might be missing and what skills you might need to either brush up on before you apply to that job or add to your resume so that the system knows that you are perfect for that position. And then it also highlights the skills that you have based on what you have on your resume and what the job description has asked for. And then this is very important. I wanted to make sure that people had tactical things that they could actually do to improve their resume. So I gave them recommended resume bullet points that they could copy and paste and place into their resume after they use this tool. So that was tool number one, based on the information, or tool number two, besides the AI career coach, based on the information that I gathered from people sending over 2,000 messages to my beta version of my AI tool. Another thing that I saw people struggling with was deciding where to go next based on where they were in their career. So I created this AI career path explorer tool that allowed people to enter a role that they currently have or want, and then their location. And then based on what they entered, it would then, whoops, let's see, hold on, let's see how it'll work here. It would then give them a career map of some of the things that they could do. So I'll just put that I'm a marketing specialist. And then it takes a little bit of time to think. This tool is using ChatGPT as a foundation. So it does still use ChatGPT. So when ChatGPT takes a long time to think, so does my tool. It takes a long time to think. So this generally takes about a minute to load, but then once it loads, it gives you sort of the distinctions in the career path for someone. Um, so here's the example. So it gives you your starting point where your salary might be according to your location. And then I want it to be as detailed as possible so that people would not have to ask follow-up questions. My tool, I didn't realize this before, but as I was talking about this tool with someone else, they said that this was a no prompt AI tool. Just like we have like no code tools when people are trying to build tools from scratch. This is like a no prompt tool. So people who don't understand how to prompt an AI could come to this tool and it wouldn't be super scary for them to use a tool like this. So I wanted to make sure to give job seekers as many resources as possible just from using one simple tool. So this is an example of that as well. And then last but not least, a lot of people was coming to my beta version of my AI tool to practice their interviewing skills. So I built with my team an interview practice tool. So you could put your own fields in, or you can select a field that's pre-populated, and then you could start practicing for your interview. You could speak your answer into it or type your answer into it, and then this tool would give you recommendations on how you could edit your answer as you're going through and practicing for your interview. So this was a long process. It took about 5 months to build this tool, and I'm going to show you our requirements document. So I built a requirements document alongside my team that was helping me build. And this is where we would put everything, all of the prompts. So I prompted all of my tools that you see, and then my team went in and helped edit and add things to it. I broke down what each tool should include. So I sort of stepped in as a product manager too when I was building this tool. So I wrote down all the requirements. I wrote down descriptions of what every little detail of the tool should do. And then this is an example of a prompt that I created for one of the tools. So I made sure that it was very detailed. It was long. It included some specific things and approaches that I take when I coach people in their careers. And I also have a career blog with a lot of my frameworks. So I made sure to include that in the tools as well. So that was a walkthrough of my process of starting from ChatGPT and developing my career coach tool, then moving to Agenthost and putting together a beta tool that I could charge people for, that I could gather data from and see how people were using my tool. And then how I finally moved it on and paid and hired a real team to help me develop something that looked like this for job seekers. So that was my entire process. I'm happy to jump in and answer any questions about um, how I built it, how I chose the third-party tools to use, how I found my team. Happy to answer any of those questions. And I'm going to stop sharing.
Well, thank you very much. I
Yeah.
mean, this is really amazing. And I think 5 months is really not that much time to build such a great tool.
Yeah.
I noted a few questions, but I think the other participants maybe also have some questions. And the picture was asking if we can see the agent you have just created and how does it work?
Oh, yes.
Currently, I don't have the premium version, so maybe you can just share it.
Yeah, I'll drop the link in the chat. But yes, you can use it right now. So as soon as I drop the link, you should be able to use it in ChatGPT. So give me 1 second and I'll put it on the store so anyone can access it. In here.
Right, because you sort of answered that question. I was curious to see how you work, but then as you showed us how you build the other tool, I kind of got a few questions answered. Sorry,
Perfect.
I got this in a different place from the camera. That's why I look like I'm looking somewhere else. Sorry.
No problem. Got it.
But really, really interesting. I didn't know that you could do that, and such a good way to get research on your audience. Build a tool that you think they may need, and then gather information, and then build something that they need even more.
Yeah. I love
Very
it. Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem.
Picture, we should do something for the accessibility.
Yeah, I'm thinking how to do that. Yeah, let's have a chat, Vicky. We could collaborate. Yeah.
Perfect. Any other questions? Did I answer all your AI questions? Are you scared? Are you now less scared to build AI tools now that you know how easy it how easy it can be if you sit down and dig into the tool?
Okay, Bianca was asking, did you actually write the prompts using ChatGPT?
Did I write the prompt?
Yes, I think she made the prompts that you had in the Google file.
Yeah, I wrote all of those prompts. So everything that you see, I wrote it all out based on what I needed the tool to do. And then I sent it over to my development team and had them drop all the prompts into the purple tool that you saw, so the final version. And then I played around with the tool. If it didn't do exactly what I needed it to do, then we went back to the drawing board. I added more things. I took things out. So it was like a back and forth thing. But it worked very similarly to how you might build a ChatGPT AI agent, just like you prompt in that box. If it's giving you results that you don't like, you have to sit there and you have to keep playing with it and adding things and taking things out until it gives you a tool that you can use.
So,
But
but
did
you
you?
actually like wrote all of your prompts like manually. You
Yeah.
didn't use also ChatGPT at some point to redefine the prompt or the classic one. Please ChatGPT, make my prompt even better and stuff like that.
I
So you really tested it and wrote all of them manually.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I wrote most of them manually, and then sometimes I leaned on ChatGPT like a consultant. So I would
Mhm.
ask it to think through a couple more things that I could add to the prompt. But for the most part, I tried to keep it as separate as possible from ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Just because, yeah, you have to keep playing with ChatGPT until it gives you an answer, but I already knew exactly what I wanted. So I just went and manually wrote everything out.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you guys don't have questions, I'm going to start with my question list. Um, so the first question is that this what's the name of the AI tool? So
The
the
third party
phase in the
tool?
between.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
AI Agenthost. It's called Agenthost.
Agenthost,
Yeah.
yes. Do you know where is it hosted? Because I think we may have some, I don't know, data privacy issue here in Europe if we start collecting the information of the
Oh,
visitors.
that's true. I don't know if they're a US based company. But I sent the link in the chat so that you could do more research. And I
Okay.
have the direct email of one of the creators, so I could send that to you as well. You can ask him a few couple follow-up questions about privacy.
Yes, thank you. And how does this master GPT, so you have just created work? Does it work? I mean, you create it in English.
Mhm.
Would this still work if, let's say, I'm start prompting in German or
Yeah.
any other language?
Yeah, so the main AI tool, the AI coach would work because I'm using ChatGPT as a base. So everything that ChatGPT can do, my tool can do. I've just tailored it in a way where I customize its focus. So like its main responsibility is to help you with your job search or help you in your career. It's not to help you like edit papers or do things like that. So the results that you get will be more tailored towards a job seeker or a job searcher. But yeah, if you start typing in Spanish, it'll translate or it'll give you answers in Spanish. Like I didn't show you in my ChatGPT list, I had a Spanish conversation tool that I use to practice my Spanish. And they give me questions in Spanish, they give me stories in Spanish. So just like you could do there, if you needed to speak in German or Spanish, you could. The other tools though, so like the interview prep tool, all of those were prompted in English. So it might give you more English responses than Spanish, but like I said, ChatGPT is the base, so it's smart.
Yeah, and the next question is about the base because you said everything the ChatGPT is a base. Is it the free version? Because
No, no,
if
no.
okay, so yeah, the question is I want to understand, if a lot of people is using your service and if it's a free version, we know that we have to wait for a long time to get the answer.
Yeah. So so if you decide to use ChatGPT as your base for whatever AI tool you're using, same thing with like a Claude, you have to pay as a developer. So I have a developer account that's very separate from my main ChatGPT account. And every time I go over a certain amount, I have to pay. Um, Same thing with the resume analyzer. I have plugins that I use to pull data from LinkedIn and Indeed. So every time someone uses my LinkedIn or Indeed third like plugin that I put in this tool, I have to pay. So that's when people decide to go out on their own and develop an AI tool and they have all these third-party plugins, or they're using like a ChatGPT as a base, they do have to pay like a developer fee in order to make their tool work, unless they find a way to do it on their own. So like if they scrape, for instance, if I wanted to keep using LinkedIn, if I figured out how to scrape LinkedIn's website without using that third-party tool that I found, then I could save a little bit. The AI space is a little bit tricky. There are a couple of key players that everyone leans on for their model. So unless you develop your own model, then you will be paying like ChatGPT or the folks behind Claude. You'll be paying them like a monthly fee or a per usage fee.
So you pay for the access to the APIs.
Yep, you have
Okay,
to.
got it. I think that's it. Oh, there was another question about the quotation in the master thesis, GPT. I thought it was written something like the APA, and I was just wondering. I guess it will help if I write in the prompt. My thesis should be using the IEEE, for example. So if I'm telling it this or just upload the PDF file of the IEEE, it will help.
Yep.
Or it will work.
Yep. The more information you give it, the more you're able to tailor it to what you're trying to do. So yeah.
Okay, that's all of my questions. Thank you very much.
Perfect. Any other questions? Any other AI tools you're excited about or want me to talk about? I try to dip into a lot of different ones so I can talk about more AI tools if you want, or if this was helpful and good enough, I'm good with that too. Yes.
I've got perplexity with a credit card. I've got a pro account with my credit card, with a credit card. And yeah, I find it's very good for research. Have you tried it? Have you used it? I'm not sure what the difference is with ChatGPT.
I've used it a little bit. I know a lot of students use it because of the research part of it. But I tend to spend more time on ChatGPT, just because it's the one that I've used the most and I know the most. I've used Claude a little bit too. A lot of people who like to copyright, or write in general, they like to use it. And then I think some people are starting to use it to like put together code and build code as well. ChatGPT does that too. So I think at the end of the day, a lot of these tools are very similar in what they offer, and they're all competing with each other. So they're adding very similar things to their platforms. So I say use the tool that helps you solve whatever problem you're trying to solve in your day to day. In terms of building out the agents, though, I don't know if Perplexity and Claude has that ability yet. I haven't seen them yet. So I think ChatGPT is ahead of the game on that front. So I like it for that reason.
Yeah, I'm happy to hear that you also recommend to use Claude for writing. Because and I'm excited to hear that ChatGPT has already introduced the searching on the web feature, because it was not possible. So I left it like 3 months ago, and I'm using Claude now. And I can confirm that if you really want to copyright things, Claude is really that's just a little bit better. And But the good thing is that you can use ChatGPT to create images, and DALL-E is just getting better and better, and you get all these features in the same account.
Yeah, that's true.
I kind of hate that. I was reading, I mean, I use it, but I am in so many minds about AI and the image thing. I read actually a passage today, but I couldn't, it was a photo of a newspaper, so I don't know which one it was from, but it basically said there is absolutely no way to get AI to create images in any way that is ethical. There just isn't.
Interesting.
They're just lifted, they're copied, and because I don't do it so much anymore, but I was an image maker, and it just and you know, if you have photos in image libraries, which I still do, I stopped uploading photos ages ago, but I used to be a part of my income, and I don't want them to copy my photos. Sorry. It took me it was too hard for me to create them. And also, it's one thing I don't like about it, because I wanted to do the heavy lifting. So, and the research should only ever be a base anyway, because you should also always check. And, you know, people get lazy, and that's also dangerous. Something else that I saw today was a climate journalist that I know saying that he prefers to not use AI just because if you see, you know, if you do your own research, then at some point you'll see something that takes you down another route that you wouldn't have gone down to if you. So so there's that as well. But the images is what I just can't. I mean, obviously, everything that we read is regurgitated from somewhere else. Someone wrote it, and it was added to it. So, but the images really riles me up more than anything else, because images are more protected than text in a way, because before AI, even with Photoshop, it's super hard to create a nice image. It just really is. So it really gets my goat how hard it is to become an artist, and how it's been hijacked something else, not the fun bits, not the bits that make us human. And I could carry on, so I'll shut up.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. But still can't change it really.
Yeah, that makes sense. I hope there is a way in the future. I say never, because we didn't think we would be where we are right now with technology. But I hope there's a way for it to create unique images that don't lean on real images that were created by people. So we'll see.
That's possibly even scarier.
Yeah, that would be scarier. That would be scarier, but at least people's IP wouldn't be touched. Yeah. Perfect. Well, it was lovely to chat with y'all and talk you through my process. And my mind is like all over the place. I don't even know how I put all of this together, but it was just one thing after another, and I kept going. So that's a lot of how experimentation and building works in my mind. So it was fun to go back through my thought process and walk you through where my ideas started and where it ended up.
It was very inspiring. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks, you all.